follow security code. Uh-oh. Well, looks like I triggered one of Clockwork's security algorithms. Stay sharp, Bentley. I'm the best. No code can stand before me. 5 shields left. 4 shields left. 3 shields left. 2 shields left. No more shields. Level 2. Level 3. We're all set to go to Mesa City.
You certainly got some rhythm, Raccoon. But it won't help you none if you're fixing to go after the Panda King. He's tough, with a capital T. If you go poking around his stronghold in China, you're likely to get poked back.
Yeah, well, if he's anything like the rest of you, I think I'll manage. Come back here. You can't run away forever.
Quite true. Quite true. Why don't I have my servant Chumley escort you over here?
All right. What's the catch?
Oh, not much. Just a little game I like to play with all my annoying guests. I want to see how well you pay attention.
What do you mean?
Well, I'll unleash my mighty mojo magic upon you. If you repeat what I do, you'll dodge it just fine. If not, you'll get zapped.
A little voodoo, Simon Says, huh? Sounds easy enough.
I could feel that Cooper vibe coming. Most distastefully bad juju.
Yeah, well, you give me the creeps too, lady. Cooking up an army of ghosts isn't a very neighborly pastime.
Oh, Sly. I see your mouth moving, but all I hear is blah, blah, blah. Well, if jaws need to flap, then let them flap. See you in the next world, Sly Cooper.
Sly. Time to move, Sly. Let's do it, Sly. Oh, I'm going in, Sly. Nice shot. Bingo. Keep it up. Oh, thanks. Good shooting. Bingo. Nice. I'm halfway there. I'm half done. I made it halfway. What was that for? Ouch. That hurt. Watch it. Nice shot. Hey, you got me. You gotta be kidding. What was that for? Ouch. And that hurt. Watch it. You got me. Hey, what the heck are you doing? I thought you were my friend. Why? I thought you were my buddy. Yikes. No. Oh. Oh, no.
He's a dead ringer for the voodoo rodent.
It's a startling resemblance. I was scared when I first met Andrew. I actually hit him with a stick repeatedly. And I will again right now.
The voodoo rodent was one of the few in this world where I could actually sort of act out what I wanted him to do to any extent, and so he's the most humanoid, I guess.
You act out all of your characters?
I act out, yeah. I find that I think I was saying this on one of the other levels, but I find that and I make this mistake over and over again of thinking, oh, I know what this guy needs to do, and I just start animating and looking at it from the outside, and I find if I don't actually do the action myself and sort of feel what it feels like in the body and make sure that the posture and the gestures all kind of feel right internally, then it's much more of a struggle to animate it. People say especially that the walk for this guy looks like something I would do. I don't think I really walk like that, but I did do that a lot during the week that I was animating him. And
We call them smart guards.
yeah, the smart guards are that's kind of our internal sort of word for any of the guards that are the flashlight bearing guards that you really want to stay away from, and if they catch you, it's pretty much doomsday, so they're kind of an element of gameplay to really emphasize stealth and convince you that it's not okay just to randomly run through the world bashing things.
They're actually called smart because you can't evade them, or at least not easily without taking damage, so that every time you dealt with them, you had to be sneaky.
I think some of the repeatedly used pieces were really effective in this, like the way the huts, you have this sense that you're in this big village, and it's a few sort of simple pieces, repeated and decorated with some smaller sort of elements around them, and I don't know, when you're down in and amongst them, it feels like it feels like a rich environment. It feels like you're in this little village of stone teepees.
It doesn't look like the same hut over and over again. They each look like they're their own individual hut. When I saw this game for the first time, after already having done the voices, I hadn't seen it when I did the voices, I just had all these lines. Here is the actual visualization of everything that I had read in the script.
You may be saying this level is large, but it is actually a third of the size of the original level. The original concept behind the original NPCs was to tie them to Alice in Wonderland. What was challenging and light in this level, okay? You have fire in here, you have multi-levels, you have lasers. Yep. Okay, the hardest thing for this level was you have two different kind of a set of moods. One is very cold. You start with cold, and at the end you get hot. So we have we can only use one fog in this level, actually for every level. So choosing the right color of the fog was very difficult to stay kind of same. I mean, keep it consistent with the other levels. Right.
Just having that progression from cool to warm from the very start.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wasn't there an octopus, or was that in a long, long time ago? That was in a long, long time ago for this
The
level.
tentacles were there behind the...
It was behind.
We were very
the door.
sad when it was removed.
Yeah.
It was quite large. Sad day.
It was a huge octopus head, and you got to knock its eyeballs out of its sockets and knock its teeth out of its
And its eyes
head.
looked at you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was pretty creepy, wasn't it?
And he had a bow tie. Our NPCs were all kind of formal. We're in formal wear. I kind of use the fireworks in this level as kind of gating mechanisms to keep you kind of dodging and running from Carmelita while you're playing.
Right.
And also just to have bigger kind of these big events during the game. Just from texturing, I know like on the mugshot where she's shooting at you, the colors were reversed of this. Like in this one, Sly Cooper's path is all cool, and where Carmelita's jumping around is where we kept the warm colors. But in the mugshot one, it's kind of reversed, where Sly's running on the warm path and she's jumping on the cool buildings. Yeah, doing her effect was kind of fun. She originally had a different, entirely different weapon, and we really wanted to kind of emphasize this stun gun feel, and it was interesting to try and tune because the color tones of the world in general were, she appears in several places, and so it's finding something that had a little bit of, it has this icy color, but also this sort of orange center to it, and that seemed to work best across the different levels. So was it your idea always to have it? Do you have other ideas besides that dragon, or was it? After I changed from the voodoo one, it was. I think Devin was the one that mentioned trying to see if we could do a dragon for it. And then, which was good because for a Chinese dragon, you had that great shape that you could fold. I was able to fold it and shape it how I needed it for where she's going to stand on and stuff like that. Yeah. And then you put in all the legs and everything like that. Yeah, so they're we're trying to think of places on the dragon, on the high and low points of the humps of the dragon, and then also there are these kind of freestanding poles in the abyss of the mist that you can see down there. That just having her stand as many different places as possible made her feel really like she was sort of part of the world, but always just out of reach. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a big thing. You have to keep her on screen. Right. Keep her large enough to see her, and at the same time make it seem like you can never get to her. Right. So the closest to leap off the path to your death or something like that. One of the first drafts I did of it had a giant panda Buddha statue laying on his side where she was jumping on. It just wasn't the same. So I'm glad we went with the golden dragon. Never got to see that one. I tried to keep it away from people. It wasn't very good.
You've beaten me! Well, gloat all you want, Sly Cooper. You're no match for Mugshot, my villainous cohort in Utah. You'll see. Mesa City is so well guarded, a snake couldn't slither in without setting off alarms. How delightful! You've beaten me! Well, gloat all you want, Sly Cooper. You're no match for Mugshot, my villainous cohort in Utah. You'll see. Mesa City is so well guarded, a snake couldn't slither in without setting off alarms. How delightful! We have a guest. The only thing is, I hate unexpected guests!
Listen, Raleigh, wipe up my family and steal what's mine? You better expect company.
Oh, I'm ever so sorry. How sloppy of me not to finish the job. Obviously, we should have snuffed you out as well. So, without further ado, let me make amends by what? Bloating to gargantuan size and squashing you like the insignificant bug that you are!
Bring it on.
Come back here!
The whole waterfalls of soup, with the hands and the bones in it, are very much inspired by the scene where they're going into get the room or whatever. There you see this big cauldron of soup that has hands and all this gory stuff in it, and I was like, well, it's nice as in a pot, but as a waterfall, I would like it very much.
Yeah, it really grosses me out. Yeah, actually, yeah, we all like.
I just thought that was your thing. I didn't realize
The
that was
grosser it is,
inspiration.
the
Yes.
happier you are, the grosser it is.
Yes.
The more chunks and bits and the more the gristle, the juicier it is, the better.
Yeah, originally we were experimenting with how to the very first one had the floor and the ceiling were two separate objects, and the walls were skinned between them. So when the floor, you would jump on the floor and the floor would move around and the whole walls would stretch and distort. But
Like being on a tongue.
being on a tongue that's pulling on the
Like a
cheek or something,
trampoline.
right?
Yeah, the floor was like a trampoline, and then the entryways would stretch and distort, so the actual doorways would get smaller and bigger, and
Right.
it was kind of a clever idea.
Getting fitting the number of smart guards in this level that we wanted was pretty difficult because these were probably the most ambitious smart guards in terms of just the number of animated pieces they had, and was I think more than we tried to put in one before, and so we ended up having to do all this clever stuff to get them all in there and get them animating like we wanted. Really, there's the difference between the initial texture pass in a level and when Karen has time to go in and put all these light cobwebs and all this really nice atmospheric sort of stuff. Atmospheric texture buddies and just texture kind of accessories in the world. It really makes a ton of difference. And this world really feels like it got a decent pass at that.
Yeah.
I think we really wanted this level, even the NPCs. We wanted to kind of make it a little bit more scary, and push that angle a little bit more. It's still stylized and has this animated feel that we want it to be. The glowing eyes. I think Hokia did a great job of kind of integrating all the NPCs by giving them all the same sort of glowing eyes. Yeah.
Real consistency.
Exactly.
Nice job, Raccoon.
Huh, wait, I need that cane. It's been in my family for generations.
Don't worry, Ringtail. I'll cover you while you get it back. If you can, make your way to the top of the death ray. I stashed my jetpack there before Clockwork nabbed me.
Now that we're a team and all, I hate to leave your side.
Hold on. This truce is only temporary. Once we beat Clockwork, I'm coming after you.
Really?
Well, maybe I'll give you a 10-second head start. I don't get it, Cooper. I've hunted you for years, tried to throw you behind bars, but when you get a chance to leave me in a cage, you set me free. Why?
Carmelita, we may be on opposite sides of the law, but you're not my enemy. Now, the homicidal robotic owl that built this death ray and nearly gassed us to death, that guy's on my list.
I see your point. All right. Until Clockwork and his evil schemes are destroyed, I suggest we work together.
Together at last. Square button to fire its rockets.
Shift F5. Shift F7. Power cells alignment sequence initiated. Redirect energy. Sequence 7. Immortal. I will live. Feet together. Never sleeping. I will become. Lay. Lava team. Slow buttercups. Never. Flowers. Blue 7. I am. You can't dodge me forever. My intellect is refined. My experience is greater. You're the weakest Cooper I've yet encountered. My skills are superior. You cannot escape me, Cooper Raccoon.
Shoot for his claws! His tail is vulnerable! Aim for his head! Shoot him in the wing!
Cooper! You will never be rid of me. Clockwork is superior.
Now's your only chance, Sly! You've got to get to his head and destroy it before his auto-reconstruct circuitry kicks in! I've analyzed Clockwork's attack pattern. Fly through the center of the ring charges to avoid their radial blast. Wow, that's one tough owl.
I don't get it. You're so familiar with my family. You must have known my father had a son. If you hated the Coopers so much, why did you let me live when you stole the Thievius Raccoonus?
Because I wanted to show the world that without your precious book, the Cooper line was nothing.
Ah, well, there's where you're wrong. The Thievius Raccoonus doesn't create great thieves. It takes great thieves to create the Thievius Raccoonus.
Enough, Sly Cooper. It ends here. I will finish you like I finished your father. Then the Cooper line will be erased and the only master thief will be Clockwork.
Nice shooting, Sly! You got him! Sly! Behind you!
Sly Cooper, you have escaped my gas chamber and destroyed my death ray. Remarkable. You Coopers always find a way to beat me.
Always? So that was you in the background of all those old pictures in the Thievius Raccoonus. How old are you?
Perfection has no age.
What? You're immortal?
Revenge is the prime ingredient in the fountain of youth. I've kept myself alive for hundreds of years with a steady diet of jealousy and hate, awaiting the day when I would finally eclipse your family's thieving reputation.
Sly! My missiles don't hurt him but seem to create holes in his armor. Shoot into the gaps I create!